Hey folks, it's shaky cam time. Not in my usual spot this time for this video. I thought I would do a quick video about a new project I'm working on that's not quite guitar luthery, but it is related, and that is I decided to put together, after using a multi-effects processor for many years, and I got really tired of my sound on all my recordings. So I decided to put together a pedal board, effects pedal board, and I'm just working on it and having fun with it. I did set myself a budget for the whole thing, so these may not be the top of the line pedals that you would choose, but I was working within a particular price structure, and I'm actually really pleased with some of these pedals. I think they're great. Bang for buck. So let's see what you think. Let me show you what I'm working on. So this is the entire pedal board, and as you can see I've got a nice mahogany rack with the holes cut out of it, courtesy of a seller on eBay. Now I could make my own. I have enough carpentry skills for it, but I thought this particular one was perfect and finished, and I wanted to support his endeavours. It was going very, very cheap, and considering that the plastic ones are completely overpriced, I thought I'd support this bloke for making a nice handmade wooden one, well designed. So I'll take you through the chain here. What I start with is a bit of a multi-effects processor, and that's the Vox Stomp Lab. Now that gives me lots of preset sounds, and a lot of them are sort of copies of analog sounds, amp sounds and things like that. A lot of good stuff on there. And of course it has the pedal and the wah-wahs and everything. And if I want the really crazy pedal sounds, I can get them all on here. This thing has plenty of, let's say special effects type things, so you can sound like, the Rage Against the Machine guitarist or something like that. A great little unit, and copies a lot of the effects on the Vox amps. So that's what I start with. And then this is the first of my Joyo pedals, which I think are excellent value. You might laugh at them as being sort of cheap Chinese made pedals, but they're actually really good and they're very rugged. This is the dyno compressor. Works really well. I've got it set just where I like it for that bit of boost. And then moving on is the ultimate drive, also from Joyo. I tried various overdrive pedals that were a lot more expensive, and this sounds every bit as good. It really is a good pedal. Also, going up the chain here, and I've got this sideways, is my chorus effect. Now, this is made by Nux, which is another sort of off-brand, but it actually sounds better than the Joyo chorus or some of the other chorus pedals that I tried. Now I don't use a lot of chorus, so I don't need any really high-end production of chorus. This gives me just the chorus I need, on the occasional bit of backing guitar. So this is absolutely fine. And then I went for a flanger. Again, I don't use a lot of flanger, but this thing also has some reverb and delay. It's a very good pedal. It's also from Joyo. It's their classic flanger. For the price, I just thought it was incredible what you get out of this pedal. So it got selected for the board. Now I use a volume pedal for swells and things like that. I like a lot of atmospheric type guitar. So I went with the Morley. This is the Alligator, the Steve Vai pedal. Now, everybody has different opinions on this, on these pedals, and I know there are a lot of good ones on the market, but I have big feet, and this thing is so smooth. The compression of the pedal is so smooth, so easy to use. You've got the minimum volume control right here to where you can control your swells. It's perfect for what I do. And notice that I've got all of the compression, chorus, flange stuff before that pedal. It feeds into the volume. Then after the volume pedal, I go into delay and reverb. And for delay, I've chosen the Joyo D-Seed pedal, which is absolutely excellent. It has all of the main delay pedal effects. It has copy modulation, delay, analog delay, a really good reverse delay, which is interesting, tap tempo, bypass, A and B channels so you can switch between them. It's a great little pedal, and the price is quite amazing. It's really well made. It's a rugged pedal. You know, these Joyo pedals are unbelievable for the money. I believe Harley Benton is putting their name on some of these and selling them as their own brand from Thomann in Germany. But these are the original Joyo pedals that you can get just amazingly cheap. For my reverb, I didn't go with Joyo or any of its immediate competitors. I went with the Reverb machine from Behringer. Now, I hear a lot of people slating Behringer as a cheap knockoff, and maybe they are in some respects, but this Reverb machine, and they do make a cheaper version, a delay pedal, I don't feel is anywhere near as good. This Reverb machine, RV600, is an excellent delay pedal, and it has, you know, lots of presets. If you can see here, you know, it has ducking, space, cave, let's see, mal, I think, no, hall, not mal, room, plate, spring. It's got all the main reverbs. It's got some excellent controls up here. I like the design of the pedal. It's nice metal construction, works really well, and it sounds better than anything in its price range, in that price range for me. Remember, I'm on a budget with these pedals. You know, I try to use guitar effects colorfully, sparingly, and as the composition requires. I'm not by any means a pedal or effects fetishist. So this is put together thoughtfully, without spending ludicrous amounts on them. And then the last in the chain is a bit of a splurge, a looper, and I went with the Loop Station RC30. Of course, there is a cheaper one than this, but I really like the two-pedal function. I can see what I'm doing. Often with loopers, the pedals are multifunctional, so you lose track of what does what. This thing is really easy to use. It also has, like the delay, it also has different channels. I think 4 channels. It's got a built-in drum machine and other stuff that I don't really use. It's got loop effects here that I don't really use a lot either. But if you're doing sort of a one-man band thing, or you're soundscaping, and you like to use loops, you can do a lot with this. And notice this is the end of the chain, so everything else feeds in to the looper. The looper will pick up everything, that any effect that I put on my guitar, and it's the final thing, the chain. The out from this goes of course into the amp or the PA or the recording device. So that's it. I had fun putting this together. It's an interesting little pedal board. I can't remember the word for it. And it's, I think, you know, less than 300 to put all this together. I think the most I spent was on the looper, which there's a couple of sellers on eBay selling them very cheap. These are amazingly cheap if you look for them. There's sellers also selling them new. And the Vox is very inexpensive, even though it's a multi effects pedal. And of course all the Joyo, the Nux and the Behringer pedals are sometimes as low as $25–30 a piece, particularly for these smaller ones, which is quite incredible. So at some point I'm not quite finished wiring this up. If you look underneath, you can see I'm working with the AC. I've got a little this is another debate thing on YouTube, isn't it? I've got a little what is it, K-line power, almost said K9, which all the power hooks into. And you know, there's a lot of debate on whether these are any good. I think it's going to be fine for my needs. So I've got to rig all this up underneath. You can see here the pedal board is nicely notched out to put all this stuff in. So I've got a bit more work to do on it, and when I get it finished, I hope to do a little demo with a couple of guitars I'm working on. So that'll be in the future. But for now, bonk. I'll say goodbye. This is my garage and workspace. As you can see, my tools and all that. A lot of stuff gets done out here. Violin repair, everything else. So that's it, my little pedal board project, and I'll give you a little demo on a future video. Thanks for tuning in.